Good morning. So today is day 34 of the challenge. I completed day 33 of my bread challenge yesterday. Woo! Lots of desserts on the table, and it was honestly easier than I thought it would be to avoid most of them. A couple weren't bread related, so I might have had a gummy worm or two. And it's all downhill from here. We are on the back half of the challenge. Day 34, again, that's what today is. So back half of the challenge, less days less to complete this challenge than there were to get to where we are today, which is awesome. We finished talking yesterday in regards to Stephen Covey, talking about how his son was needed to be protected and how they didn't feel as if he was holding up to a lot of those standards. And that his research with IBM began to show us that sometimes our perception and how people are perceived will determine our success. At the same time, he was doing research into success and looking at a lot of literature that talked about success over the past 200 years. What he found was interesting. He found that 150 years ago, or for the first 150 years of the nation, the books that he was reading, which include Benjamin Franklin's autobiography and many, many other books and papers on success, he found that those books focused on what he was calling character ethics. So, integrity, humility, justice, patience, the American way, but honestly, justice, patience, modesty, those things that deep in your soul make you a good person, those character ethics. And much of that writing was really focused on you digging into yourself and making your true self better. Interestingly enough, this book was written in about 1989, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And the previous 50 years, so about World War I-ish, up to the research time of the book and this example with his son, and then him writing the book, that previous 50 years was much more focused on not character ethics, but what he called personality ethics. So how do you get people to like you? How can you influence people? So much of it seemed a bit like a PR stunt. I can say these amazing things and have you like me and buy from me or influence you. How can I be an influencer? Interestingly enough, this was 1989, so before social media is what it is today. And like some of it was motivational, so positive motivation, which could seem like a good thing, but other parts were manipulative. How can I get more power? How can I intimidate you? Techniques that got people to do what I wanted you to do, as opposed to do what was best for people. And so those manipulative ways were obviously not good things to be seeing in these books, and not something that improved you as a core or others as a core. So these methods actually took a nod at character ethics. So they recognized that character could be important, but they just saw it as a piece of the puzzle as opposed to being the fundamental, the crucial part of becoming better. They didn't recognize it as being foundational. They didn't recognize it as being catalytic. They didn't say it was the way that somebody moves towards success. So as he noticed those changes and he realized that he and his wife were looking at his son and worried about that social perspective, right? Like, I've got a son that seems slow and is laughed at while playing baseball, and that's embarrassing to me. And so I'm embarrassed for him, and I then turn around and try to protect him so I can elevate his social status, despite the fact that by me elevating him, he's not being him. I'm not working on his core. I'm just working on his appearance, which helps my appearance, mind you, right? So it could be looked at as almost being selfish. Instead, they looked at their son and they said, hey, be you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are you. Let's love you for you. Let's help you be you. And they saw their son begin to blossom and flourish and become into a very caring individual who had self-pride, and self-confidence, and was able to grow and help a lot of people over time. I thought that was a great way to end that initial part of the foundation, right? That this is not about how we are seen by others. It's not how we want to be seen, but about who we are. So taking it back to our identity. Are we working on these habits to improve how we're seen? Or are we working on these behaviors and habits to improve who we are and to improve our character? Looking forward to day 35 tomorrow as we complete day 34 today and we continue on in this study. Thanks all. Have a great one.